So yesterday we were in Pompeii, which was everything that I hoped it would be and more, to be honest with you. We didn't get time for me to stop and do a video there because the tour was quite intense. There was a lot to see and the guide wanted us to see it all. So I couldn't find sort of 3 or 4 minutes just to stop and do something. And to be honest with you, the pictures are more beautiful than anything that you would look at just looking at me and something behind. So I thought this would be nicer. So while I was walking around, I was thinking about the lives of these people in Pompeii. They were getting on minding their own business. They didn't realise that they were living underneath a volcano because it was so green and lush. They thought that it was a dead volcano and was completely inactive. So they were just getting on with their lives and minding their own business. And then this tragedy happened. And for them, it was really quick and there was no escaping. And within a few hours, basically, the majority of them had perished. But for us, we often have some warning of the emergencies around us. So, for instance, the hurricanes that have hit America recently, there are wildfires in Spain and in America and all over the place, earthquakes, all kinds of things. There was a big storm where I live at the moment recently and lots of people were without power. 3 or 4 years ago, we had major flooding in our area. So when we have these things, what would make it easier for us? Well, FlyLady's talked about having an emergency preparedness list. She has 11 steps for emergencies. And if we follow those, they're really simple and they work really well for us. So it's just real simple things like knowing where all of your insurance papers are, medical things that you might need, having a list of emergency contacts, having enough clean water that if your water went out, you could survive for a few days. Things like that that just really make a difference in an emergency and make your life maybe that just a little bit easier than it could be otherwise. When we knew this storm was coming recently, just over the weekend, had a conversation over text with my daughter because she's at home and obviously we're not, and she's never had to deal with that kind of thing as an adult on her own. So I was kind of make sure that you've got water ready, and we have lots of things like that in place. So it was just making sure she knew where it was. I wanted to make sure she knew where the fuse box was, where all the emergency things were, that she could have her phone charged all of the time, just things like that, simple things like, do you know where the manual can opener is? Because our can opener is electric. Well, that's no good without power. So there are simple things like that that just make life a lot easier in an emergency. Then there are the bigger things. If you had to leave your home with 15 minutes notice, could you do that? Could you pull everything together? Do you have everything that you need to get out of your home in 15 minutes? We pretty much do. So today my challenge is for you to think about some of those things that need thinking about for an emergency preparedness plan. Go to the FlyLady website and have a look and see what she suggests and maybe check everything that you've got in place.